Hello everybody, this is our business studies section. In this business studies section, we would be doing the chapter Nature and Purpose of Business, chapter 1 of business studies plus 1. In this video, we will cover human activities, the classification of human activities, and then the classification of economic activities. Human activities are all those activities which are performed by human beings in order to satisfy their wants. The motive behind human activities is to earn money or to get personal satisfaction. So on the main motive, that is to earn money or for personal satisfaction, human activities can be classified into two categories. The first is the economic activities and other is the non-economic activity. Economic activities are all those activities which are undertaken by human beings to earn an income. These people are concerned with the production, exchange, and consumption of goods and services. On the other hand, non-economic activities are all those activities which are performed to get personal satisfaction, which are performed for psychological and emotional needs. Example of economic activities are worker working in a factory, shopkeeper selling goods in his shop. Whereas the examples of non-economic activities are the housewife cooking the food in a house and teacher teaching his own son. So when we talk about the economic activities, we mean all those activities which are done in order to earn an income, and non-economic activities are done for satisfaction, for charity, for social service, for patriotism. All these motives are behind the performance of these activities. Now let us classify the economic activities and non-economic activities on various bases. The first basis of classification is objective. The objective of doing economic activity is to earn money, whereas objective of performing non-economic activity is to get satisfaction. The second basis is measurement in money. Economic activities can be measured in money because they are done in order to earn an income. Non-economic activities cannot be measured in money. These are done for satisfaction, for charity, for patriotism, for social service. So money involvement is not there. Expectations. A person undertakes economic activity with an expectation to earn an income or to earn a profit. Whereas in non-economic activity, expectation is to get mental satisfaction. Now what is the end result? Means when you perform economic activities, what will you get? In economic activities, the end result is the production of goods and services and earning an income. In non-economic activities, end result is the maximum satisfaction. Now let us classify economic activities. Economic activities can be classified as business, profession, and employment. It means we have three types of economic activities. So what is economic activity? We have done that economic activities are those activities which are performed in order to earn an income. So they are involved in the production of goods and services or provision of goods and services. So economic activities can be classified under three categories: the business, profession, and employment. Now we would be comparing these three economic activities on various bases. The first basis of comparison is the mode of establishment. The mode of establishment means how are these economic activities established. So in order to establish a business, or the mode of establishment for business depends on entrepreneur's decision and other legal formalities. The decision of businessman and other legal formalities has to be done in order to start a business. Now, the establishment of profession, it commences on getting membership of a personal body and certificate of practice to render personalized expert services. So in order to start a profession, you need a membership of a personal body so that you can perform a service. For employment, in order to start an employment, in order to get an employment, it commences on getting an appointment letter. This appointment letter is given by the employer, and you have to enter into a service condition or agreement with the employer. What you have to perform or what work you have to perform, all the terms and condition of service you have to do with the employer. The next is the nature of work. On the basis of the nature of work, the classification of the three economic activities can be: number one, business. What type of work is performed by business? To produce goods and services. What type of work is performed in profession? To render personalized expert services. You have to render personalized expert services. And for employment, you have to perform work as per the service conditions, as per the contract of service. You have to perform work according to that contract of services. So what is the qualification required in order to perform these three economic activities? In order to perform business or in order to do business, you do not require any minimum qualification. There is no need for minimum qualification in case of business. In case of profession, it requires expertise and training in a specific field. Means you require a type of training, a type of expertise in a particular field. And for employment, it requires qualification and training as prescribed by the employer. Whatever training, whatever qualification the employer wants, that must be present. The next point of comparison is reward or return. In case of business, the reward or return is profit. Why is business done? In order to earn a profit. So in case of profession, the reward or return is professional fees. Profession is undertaken to earn a professional fee, and the reward for an employment is a salary. Capital investment, next point. Capital investment means how much capital is required. Okay, for a business, capital is needed as per the nature and size of business. What is the nature of the business? What is the size of business? Small business require less capital. Larger business will require large capital. Similarly, what is the nature of business? It will depend upon that. Profession requires limited capital. Let us take an example. For a doctor, the capital investment will be less when he undertakes profession. Example, imagine a clinic of a doctor, and the clinic of a doctor may have some of the chairs for the patients to sit, a television, a place for a receptionist. So the capital investment will be there, but it will be a limited amount of capital investment. For employment, there is no need for capital investment. The capital investment will be done by the employer, whereas the employee or a worker does not need to invest capital in employment. The risk involved, next point. In business, there is high degree of risk because money involvement is large. And in profession, there is a moderate degree of risk, less risk, because the involvement of capital is less. In case of employment, the degree of risk is nil because the employee gets the monthly salary, regular salary, and a fixed salary. So in case of employment, the degree of risk is nil. Transfer of interest, next point, transfer of interest. What is transfer of interest? Transfer of interest means that can the business be transferred to somebody else? So in case of business, transfer of interest is possible with some legal formalities. It means the business of a particular person can be transferred to the other person by undertaking some of the legal formalities. In case of profession, the transfer of interest is not possible. Means the son of a doctor cannot be said that in the absence of a doctor he would be treating the patients. A doctor cannot transfer his interest to his son. In case of employment, transfer of interest is also not possible. So transfer of interest is possible only in case of business, whereas in case of profession and employment, the transfer of interest is not possible. The code of conduct, the rules and regulations. In business, there is no prescribed rules and regulation. The government has not prescribed a particular rules and regulations for the case of business. In the case of business, in the case of profession, professional code of conduct has to be followed. That is, the code and conduct for the doctors, the code and conduct for the lawyers, the code of conduct for chartered accountants, that has to be followed. In case of employment, the code of conduct is laid down by the employer. He has to follow all the code of conduct, all the rules and regulations that the employer has set up. Then the motive. What is the motive of doing business? The motive of doing business is to earn profit. Goods are produced, services are produced, and the main motive behind that is to earn a profit. And the main motive in profession is to earn professional fees while rendering services to the society. In case of employment, the motive is to earn livelihood, and this motive of earning a livelihood is the form of a salary. A worker is getting a salary in order to earn his livelihood. That is the motive of the employment. So business, profession and employment are the economic activities, and these economic activities can be classified on different bases as we have discussed.